What's up guys, Matt here, and coming from Star Wars Celebration, we found out that Grand Admiral Thrawn will be in Star Wars Rebels Season 3 as the main villain. It's perfect timing because I was planning on doing a video on the man himself anyway, since it's been rumored for a long time that he would appear in Season 3, and that we've had like leaks and like there's rumors of a new book and everything. So yeah, I'm just going to explain a little bit about his character for people who might not know about him, for new readers who might not have read Heir to the Empire and are really intrigued by this new guy who's going to be playing the antagonist to these new rebels in Star Wars Rebels. Now, Thrawn wasn't always known as Thrawn. Before he joined the Imperial Academy, he was known as Mithra Narodo. Thrawn was a commanding officer of Picket Force 2, which was a small border patrol fleet situated on an asteroid in the Christi system in the Chiss borderlands. During this time, he had many adventures against smugglers and pirates. During this time, he noticed that most humans struggled to pronounce his name. Therefore, he would tell them his core name, which is Thrawn. After the events of the Outbound Flight Project, which saw his brother dying, Palpatine reached out to him, trying to secure the commander's services and assist him in carrying out his ambitions of galactic domination. Thrawn was intrigued by the idea of working for Palpatine, but knew he could not honorably accept the offer and turn his back on his people. Instead, he remained in the service of his people, the Chiss, and decided to engineer his own downfall by continuing to press for preemptive strikes on planets. Sometime before the end of the Clone Wars, his actions with dealing with the Chiss's enemies pushed the ruling families too far, resulting in his exile. After being rescued from his exile by Imperials, he was taken to the Emperor, where he was quickly inducted into the Imperial Navy, where he soared through the Imperial ranks at breakneck speeds. Throughout the Galactic Civil War, Thrawn led many victories for the Empire, quickly attaining the rank of Grand Admiral, where he formed the Emperor's Shield, a group of the finest pilots from the Empire who would later accompany Palpatine on his inspection of the second Death Star. During this time, Palpatine sent Thrawn back into the unknown regions one more time to continue his mapping mission. Shortly after his departure, the Rebel Alliance won the Battle of Endor, destroying the Death Star, killing the Emperor and his minion Darth Vader. 8 years after the Battle of Yavin, Thrawn returned from the unknown regions with an amassed force of the Imperial remnants that were scattered throughout the galaxy. Thrawn's plan was to gain a clone of the Jedi Master Joruus C'baoth, as well as a clone sample from the Imperial troops, to form his own army and rebuild the Empire. His plan almost succeeded, however he was then killed by his Noghri bodyguards, who had turned their allegiance to Princess Leia after finding out that she was the daughter of Darth Vader. So now I just want to talk about a little bit about Thrawn, like how I think about him and everything, and how I think he's going to be portrayed in Rebels. So obviously it's not going to be his backstory from, Heir to the Empire and all the stuff that was in Legend. They're obviously going to retool it a little bit, since this is going to be Thrawn for the new canon, and this is going to be one of the earliest times we've seen Thrawn, since everyone has obviously the Heir to the Empire was after Return of the Jedi and like where episode 7 is, so this is set way before that, so we're seeing, I guess, maybe a young Thrawn. He's already a Grand Admiral, which is really intriguing as well, which means he rose through the ranks a little bit faster than usual. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what he can do with the full force of the Imperial Army and Navy and everything. And already in like the trailers and stuff that have been released, it looks like he's going to go all out on these rebels, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do for him, especially since he's one of those characters that he's really a lot different than any of the bad guys we've seen before. Like all the bad guys we've seen before have been kind of like your usual bad guys, kind of like the mustache twirling bad guys, whereas this guy is a tactical genius, and like he's a certified genius. The stuff he comes up with in like battle strategies and just the way he acts and knows, he's like always one step ahead or two steps ahead of his quarry and everything. So that's going to be really interesting to see how they portray that in this, and it looks like they've already already got it sort of down pat and everything. He's got a really cool villain, really unique villain, especially when we've got stuff like Darth Vader, who's one of those villains who is more physical, whereas Thrawn is more of a cerebral, mental game playing, like on a chessboard basically. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Thrawn come back into canon and how they're going to use him, especially in Rebels. It's really interesting, and it's really close to obviously these new movies that are coming out, so maybe he could cameo in one of them or something. I'm really excited. Yes, stay tuned for, maybe I might do a Rebels trailer breakdown, so keep an eye out for that. And I know me and Joel will be talking about it, so definitely head over to Caped Joel on the Comic Multiverse podcast to definitely check that out.